איתי בבניק.
ואמרת את זה נכון.
נראה לי שהוא מתאמן. ולהגיד את זה נכון.
בטח מה, לא, זה לא בטבעי לאף אחד.
Wow. Thank you, Sasi. Thank you, Sasi. You're probably the only one who managed to pronounce my name right in the past 40 years. That is not my family. Even they get it wrong sometimes. And I want to give a great round of applause to Simcha. We will hear about him more in the papers. Well, this once in the obituaries. You're welcome. Well, I have a problem now because I need to do this simultaneously in English, and I'm a translating chameleon. And I have a problem because you're British and you're probably American.
I'm not British.
So where's your accent from?
Australia.
Australia. Sorry, mate.
It's alright.
Yeah, so that's the same problem for me because you have different accents and I don't know which one to emulate. So I'll see what I can. So I'll see what I can do about that. I don't know if I'll be good, but I'll try to be well. So I actually work in the Forensics Pathology Institute in Abu Kabir in Israel, and that's a great job. I really like it, but it doesn't work. So I was just pretend that my code line from work is the same as the one I wanted to put.
I study forensics. It's okay.
Yeah, well, so you'll, I hope you'll sympathize because I think it's a great job and it's a lot of fun, and I especially like doing the instructions for medical students. It goes something like that. Well, that won't do, and that won't do. So
broke it.
that's a great thing all in all. Yeah, okay, that's cool. That goes, yeah. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our training in the Forensics Institute. And I want to show you, we have two cases here. This is Mr. Cohen, and this is Mr. Levy, and you can see they're lying on their stomachs. So let's delve into the cases and see what's going on. Hi, I'm Mr. Cohen. Hi, I'm Mr. Levy.
Oh, dear.
Today, kids, we're going to learn about opening a torso. Apropos death, my wife, that would help. Apropos death, my wife just came back from, we have these educational tours in Israel in the death camps of Europe, the Nazi death camps. And she came back and she was awed because everything there is so green. The Irish envy this green. And I said, of course, we're great manure. But the thing is that you need quantities. You look at Jerusalem versus the Negev. You need quantities of us. Now, surely you know that Auschwitz is a great big museum now. Miles of walking. And every museum has what? Cafeteria, you're right.
A gift shop?
So I was thinking, is it a motif cafeteria? I mean, how does it go? The guy works there, goes there and is all bummed up about his Mondays. And he comes back home and he says, Kochani, yes, the domo. Honey, I'm home. He says, well, you wouldn't believe it, the Israelis sent a mound of people. It was a horrible day, Yom Shoah. And on top of it all, the potatoes ran out in the kitchen. Hell of a day. Now, I find it troubling when they mix up themes, like in Judaism and Israelity. For example, the Tchiyat HaMetim, the return of the dead, the rapture, for you, and the walk of life, Mitzad HaChaim. Now, let's say that the walk of life is going on, and Mashiach ben David, the Messiah, is coming, and the reincarnation of the dead occurs, and tzamot komot all the gidim, and the bones bring on flesh and blood and start walking around. So what are they going to do? Are they going to stop it? I mean, everyone is committed, and it would be a national disgrace to stop that. So I was thinking about rebranding. Mitzad HaChaim HaMetim.
Walking Dead style.
Yeah, that can be translated, so you're fucked. Apropos death, on the way here on Route 6, I was passing some driver, and he probably got insulted by that, so we tried to pass me over like 100 miles an hour, and he was tapping a knife on the window and he's trying to drive me off the road and kill me. Just a regular day. So I was thinking, and that would have to be in Hebrew, so again, you're fucked. חשבתי על זה שכל הזמן מדברים על סטריאוטיפים, על נהגים, גברים, נשים, חרדים, ערבים. והאמת היא שכל הנהגים הטובים, טובים באותה צורה, וכל הנהגים המחורבנים, כל אחד בדרכו שלו.
ספרותי.
And apropos that, I'm agnostic, which means that I don't give a shit if there is or isn't a God, but I would like to meet her, because we share the same sense of humor. For example, לא תבשל גדי בחלב אמו, אסור. תרנגולת במיץ בניה, תענה. So when our God says, or their God says, don't cook a lamb in his mother's milk. Well, we use lamb, but cow works as well. Same oral nonsense. But if you cook a chicken in your children's juice, that's excellent.
Yep.
And it's actually.
Exactly. So.
Oh, you have a vegan
Yeah,
one.
she what? You're
You have a vegan.
I know. I like to study dead bodies, but not.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Never trust a vegan chef or a skinny chef. But
I'm only half of one.
so sorry, what?
I'm fat, but like not.
And she's not a chef.
Like, not full.
But she
Like
likes
I'm
dead
full.
bodies
Okay,
in a very
I think
odd
so.
way.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting.
Think of it that way. Think of it that way. If a thin man and a skinny man are locked in a refrigerator, there's air, you'll live longer. So hey, you got that. Well, to return to God, and my slamming her, she's an ironic bitch, basically, because, you know, only her could think of this irony. You retire, and you have all the time in the world to sleep at last after the kids left the house, but your body won't let you. And birth, that's a cannibalistic event. You bring in a new life, a new, precious, gorgeous life, and they immediately kill that which caused them your couple intimacy. But basically, I would like to be God in one subject, in my dealings with my wife. Because if something good happens, that's on me, baby. But if something bad happens, sorry, that's beyond you. Now again, apropos God, I think that anyone needs to laugh at least once, a really big, hearty, evil genius laugh, so everyone knows what you mean. For example, when you have kids, you will know the true meaning of life. Now I have a bit about Peres, Shimon Peres, which is dying right now, so I have a problem. Do you want me to do that or not? Because I have alternatives. לעשות קטע על פרס או לא לעשות קטע על פרס?
זה, קדימה.
כי הוא עדיין חי, אז אולי כאילו זה לגיטימי.
זה הזמן.
זה הזמן? שמה?
You're gonna be seeing him soon.
הבנתי?
You're gonna be seeing him soon.
Yeah,
Oh.
probably. Well, I'm going to hell, I don't know about him. So if there is one.
Oh no, I'm talking about Abu Kabir, but
Yeah, same shit. I think he'll get the VIP. I think he'll get the VIP room. So, but anyway, I was told not to do a bit about Paris because it's indignified and everything, and the man has rights and he's a giant and everything. But he's a big tease, this man. Shimon Peres signed an ID card, which is a card donor, organ donor card. And you know who this guy is, or this joke is going to pass you way over? Okay, excellent. So he signed an ID card, and he's a big tease because Shimon Peres' body parts are like seeing Balefaeli or Giselle in bikini. Both of them will never be yours. Now, I love our Knesset because you have a wide variety of people that presided or presiding there. For example, Oven Chazan, which is like Donald Trump but younger, and more drugs, or maybe not. Because you have, on the one hand, what Oven Chazan would have been if he was an accountant and Sachi. That's Ofir Akunis. And of course you have the one that Oren Chazan would like to be when he grows up, Stas Miseshnikov. Now that's all the time I have, well I don't, but let's pretend it is because that's what I wrote here. And I would like to thank the Comedy Basement to give us this opportunity, this chance, and they told me not to talk about sex and bigotry and racism, so my political bit just went down the drain. But anyway, thank you. I thank you for this opportunity. I was Itai Bawnik, and you were the best audience I ever performed in front of.
Yes.
And since I'm an agnostic, and it's called Yom Kippur, and forgiveness is not my bit, so I'll just tell you all happy holidays. ושתזכו לשנה הבאה.
ברור! עוד פעם. Say it for Itai.